What's your address?
Well, I would hardly disclose this on
Why not?
on your radio.
Somebody might disagree with you. They might want to come around and protest outside your house.
Well, if I was complicit in genocide, I hope someone turns up to my house and
So
non-violent and
you get to
peacefully.
decide whose houses people get to protest outside.
Well, if I was complicit in genocide, I would hope that people would turn up to my house and.
Sorry, Chiara. In what way is Keir Starmer complicit in genocide?
Well, he's a human rights lawyer, right? He should be well informed.
Now, 3 people have been arrested following a pro-Palestinian protest at the home of the Labour leader, Keir Starmer. Youth Demand, the group, the demonstrators from this group, placed children's shoes in his front garden and hung a banner on the hedge. Well, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has led the condemnation of the protest outside the Labour leader's house. We can now speak to someone from Youth Demand, Chiara Sarti. Good morning.
Good morning, Matt. Thank you for having me on your program.
Well, it's good to have you here. Can you explain why you went to Keir Starmer's house?
Sure. So Keir Starmer is the leader of the opposition. He's an individual, has an immense amount of power, but he is trapped within a broken political system. So that is driving genocide. So we are reaching out to him as a human being in desperation as young people, because we feel like we have absolutely no other way to get our voices heard in this political system. And we're asking for 2 things. The first thing we're asking for is an arms embargo on Israel. The second thing we're asking for is for an end to new oil and gas. And that includes the licenses that have been granted by the Tories since 2021.
You think that the leader of the opposition has got an immense amount of power? What difference can Keir Starmer make to the conflict in Gaza?
Well, he has a massive moral responsibility to be the real opposition to what the Conservatives are driving in this country. I think everyone is on the same page that the Conservatives have completely failed Britain, and the responsibility of Labour is to be in opposition to that. We've seen Starmer go on LBC a few months back and said that Israel has the right to withhold power and water from Gaza. Actually, that is collective punishment.
To be fair to him, he later clarified the point. It was a slightly confused exchange. He has later clarified that point. Why did you have to go to his house to make that point?
We tried everything else and nothing else has worked.
What else have you done?
We tried writing to MPs, we tried petitions, we've tried marches. None of that has worked. I understand that this is this kind of civil resistance actions can.
It's not civil resistance, is it? It's just being a nuisance.
No, not at all. We are young people in civil resistance, and I hope that everyone else that understands the absolute necessity for this joins us at youthdemand.org.
Is it absolutely necessary for you to go around to the private home of school children and leave children's shoes in their front garden?
Yes,
why?
Absolutely.
What's that achieved?
Well, it's got me on the show to talk about the need to impose an immediate arms embargo on Israel. Can we please emotionally connect 1 second with the reality of the situation that we're in? 33,000 people have been murdered in Gaza. 13,000 of them are kids.
But what do you think Keir Starmer's going to do about that when you've put some shoes in his front garden?
Well, immediately call for an arms embargo yesterday.
You think he was going to do that because you put some shoes in his front garden?
Well, that's up to him. We can do our best to reach out to any shred of humanity that is left in this broken political system.
What's your address?
Well, I would hardly disclose this on.
Why not? Somebody might disagree with you. They might want to come around and protest outside your house.
Well, if I was complicit in genocide, I hope someone turns up to my house. And
so you get to decide whose houses people get to protest outside?
Well, if I was complicit in genocide, I would hope that people would turn up to my house.
Sorry, Chiara. In what way is Keir Starmer complicit in genocide?
Well, he's a human rights lawyer, right? He should be well informed as to what collective punishment looks like, right? So he has a massive responsibility to be in opposition to these policies that the Conservatives are driving, right?
Sorry,
It's not that hard. It's not a hard concept.
No, you're accusing someone of being complicit in genocide and then going around to his private home where he has young children that live. And I don't think you've made that case at all. If all of this is based on a misunderstanding of a conversation months ago on another radio station, which he's since clarified.
No, I mean, the Labour Party is yet to call for an immediate arms embargo in Israel. So this is still the position of the party.
And you don't think there's any issue at all about turning up at people's private homes? There aren't many things these days that Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer agree on. But when you've got the Prime Minister, the Home Secretary in charge of law and order in this country, condemning you targeting Keir Starmer's private home, you have no regrets about that at all?
Well, let's be clear on what exactly happened there, right? We're just leaving kids' shoes in front of his house.
Do you know what? Lots of people listen to this and just think this is attention-seeking nonsense from a group of people who can't mount an argument properly. And so you've taken some shoes round to Keir Starmer's house when there were plenty of other ways to make your point. You're exactly right. There have been lobbies of Parliament. There have been protests in Westminster. There were plenty of ways to make this point without essentially trying to terrorise Keir Starmer's private family.
Well, where has that gotten us? Like, we're absolutely desperate.
Well, where is going round to Keir Starmer got you? Keir Starmer hasn't woken up this morning, has he, and done exactly what you wanted to do?
Well, then it means that we need to continue in civil resistance, and I hope that everyone that understands this joins us at youth demand.
So can I come round to your house?
Please do. I'll put on the kettle.
And are you going to give us your address?
I don't think I'm not a public figure. I'm not the leader of the opposition.
You are a public figure.
I don't have any shadow power.
You're from a campaign group which is targeting the leader of the opposition. You're on a national radio station as a spokesman for it. You are a public figure now. I can come round to your house. I can leave what I like in your front garden.
Well, if I was complicit in genocide, I would hope that people would work out what's the least threatening way to hold me to account on that.
Right, lovely stuff. Okay, Chiara, put the kettle on. I'll be around. Just complicit in attention-seeking nonsense, but there we are. Chiara Sarti, thanks very much for joining us on Times Radio.